AM 560. The Answer.
It's time for a national billionaires tax and a new social contract.
A new social contract. What the frack does that mean? That means your property is their property, like the National Socialist Worker Party. And why wouldn't your property be their property after all? Social Security is the most popular policy in the whole country. Really? Not if you work, not if you can read, not if you understand it's a lie like Obamacare. Then it's just a fraud you think you're in on. Greg LaGrange.
Hey, Shaun. How are you today?
Good, babe. How are you?
Good. I have one question for you.
All right.
Did you hear the clip of Mike DeWine talking about the TPS ruling and about how it's dangerous to send Haitians back home with their families to Haiti?
Yes, he is one of the reasons, but not exclusively. And you've never heard me call myself a Democrat, or a Republican, or I have never told anyone to vote Republican. Have you ever heard me say that?
Shaun. No, Shaun.
Okay. Yeah.
He actually said this. Now, get this. Let it sink in.
Right.
We can't send Haitian families back to Haiti because they're in the middle of a gang war and children get shot in the street.
Like every Democrat city. Yes.
It's unbelievable to me that nobody pushed back on that. And it makes me really sad that lifelong Chicagoans, like a lot of the people that just called in your show and saying that they have to get out because it's a race to the bottom with the guy in New York to destroy housing.
So here's the thing, though. Do you really think, you said nobody pushes back on it. Of course they push back on it. I mean, everybody's pushed back on it. What you really mean is that it hasn't picked up steam among media, or what it is called news, and how you control the standard to live low, right? That's what you really mean.
Yeah.
But you and I and this radio station specifically has been pushing back on it for 30 years. So I do believe the good people always push back, Greg. This is why I want you to understand. We outnumber these scumbag rat American Nazis by 8-2. There's no question in my mind. We are 80%, they're 20. They're just concentrated.
I get it. What I meant, though, is nobody in Congress pushed back and thinking about it. It's amazing to me.
He's a governor of his state, and that's the reason the duopoly must be broken, Greg. Right there. You're 100% right, by the way. That's the reason it must be broken. Thank you for the call. Dave in Libertyville.
Hey, Shaun, how are you?
Splendid.
What do you think about the squatter thing? We ran across that TV show with the squatters where they just go in an empty house and call.
I think squatters are just a little bit early. I think squatters should have waited until communism really kicks in. To me, it's the same thing. I think a squatter that gets, I think somebody who gets their rent paid. I think people who get their rent paid are squatters. I really do. What are you going to pretend you're working hard to pay the rent? John Palatine.
Hey, Shaun, how are you?
Splendid.
Good. I have a question for you.
All right.
I am wondering. We all know how Democrats basically whatever they say you are doing, they are doing. So
right.
how does the right or the Republicans or GOP or standard conservatives, how do they let them get away with calling the right or Republicans fascist? When the whole origin of that party was steeped in true fascism and Nazism.
Yeah, well, it's called the allegation is the practice, right? That's how it works, and it has happened since the dawn of time. The allegation is the practice, and there, therein lies the issue of how to fight back. But that's not my fault. I've never done that. When someone ever said Nazi, I said, you mean National Socialist Worker Party. Just because they have uniforms on with nice lapels by Hugo Boss doesn't make them right-wing. But for decades, Howard Zinn, a communist fraud scumbag saboteur to America, rewrote history to steal the future and put it in our education system. So now kids and morons and everybody who's getting elected as morons, they think that Nazism's our right wing or Nazis are right wing. That's preposterous. But they don't know. But that doesn't change the fact, John, that what people live through in Democrat-run areas is fascism, is socialism, is Nazi control of your life. The greatest Nazi examples in America have always been where Democrats are. The policies that they advocate, that they make everyone afraid of, these are communist policies. Social Security is a fraud based in communism. They pretend it's socialism, but there is no difference other than the way in which they implement the penalty. That's the only difference.
I just want to call by its true name, and I don't know why Stephen Miller or the president or Victor Davis Hanson, why they don't come out and say, hey, wait a minute, the true fascists are the Democrat Party.
I think they do, John, especially if you listen to what they have been saying even before they ran. I think they have been an example of that. And here's the greatest example, John. My friend, who has become my friend through the radio, is Corey. And 5 years ago, I said, Corey, please, baby, sell. Or wish you did. You know where it's going. Now you look at this imbecile who's never owned anything in his life, Brandon Johnson, never paid a bill on time, never existed in the private world. Say,
he looks like Gizmo, one of those gremlins.
Of course, but he's going to take over now and charge him through penalty to destroy the benefit or even the reason you own property, which means those properties will implode in value. That is a fascistic takeover of your equity. A fascistic takeover of the bundle of rights of what real estate in America is supposed to be. Now, the way you push back on it is you sue everybody. You jam this up in court. That's how you do it, because what he's doing is unconstitutional in the same vein it is from Global Intifada Mandamni. Completely unconstitutional. See, here's the get. In America, communism is illegal. We go along with it, but it's all illegal, which is why we challenge the very beginning. The answer is to challenge all of it, starting with Social Security. Give me my money back. I don't want your payment. That's how you break it.